I think when it comes to the Sonic community, we are very talented as we have like many, like artists and especially in like the gaming side of thing where we have so many, modders for like, the official Sonic games, and we also have fan game creators, which has been going on for like, many years ever since Sonic has been around. And talking about fan games, we've always get like these, amazing 2D Sonic fan games that's been around for ages. And we get the occasional, new, like 3D Sonic fan game, but to be honest, we only see them to get like a demo for like a few levels, and then we either hear it get cancelled due to like being unavailable or, unfinished. But now there is like one game that's actually been finished, and everyone's been talking about it, and that is Sonic Omens. Now, with this recent release, there has been like, let's just say, a bit of a mixed reaction with its full release. And I thought we might, just talk about it because we have all at least played it once, the whole full game. And I've got a few members of the community here with me to discuss their opinions. We have Temzy here once again.
Yo, what's up, guys? Glad to be back.
We also got Chumzone Gaming here.
Hello. You can call me Chumba.
And we've got one Sonic modding community member here who, in my person, is great when it comes to like making sound mods for like, generations and like forces and that. And it is Mario Tanaka.
Hello.
Alright, thank you guys for joining me in this kind of like late timing for you all, but thank you again for joining me.
Absolutely.
You need to pay me back for this, bro. Making me stay up.
I will. Now, before we get into this, we're just gonna be strictly honest with our opinions, so no outside influence. We're just gonna be talking about the game itself, and see what we all liked, what we disliked, and maybe I guess we can figure out if they ever were to like improve on it, see what they could do to. Because to be honest, with my opinions with Sonic Omens, I have mixed, at the very least mixed opinions on what it's done with its level design, gameplay, physics and all that. And briefly, I think we've all played the previous demos as well. Have you guys played its demos before the full game?
Yes,
Yeah.
I played.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I played the full demo when it came out that year. I had a GTX 1650 back then, and I played from start to finish. I watched all the streams just to make sure that I wasn't crazy. So yeah, and I played the latest build like one day after it came out. I played it on my own time, and then again yesterday as of recording. And yeah, I have experience. I also watched Temzy's stream and Chum his stream all the way through, and I also watched Shadowstick his stream when he streamed it yesterday.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've been following the Infinity Engine ever since Oban released it, and I did a whole rant on that thing. So yeah, I've been really involved with the Infinity Engine and Omens.
Yeah, I think the Infinity Engine is going to be an interesting case because this is like, I believe, I'm not sure if I'm correct on this, it might be because there's also been different 3D engines that either been in the works or it's kind of been forgotten, but I feel like Infinity Engine's been like the main hitter recently.
Yeah, that would be correct.
Yeah.
That one and the Bumper Engine.
Yeah, in the past we had a lot of fan games come from the Bumper Engine, but I think everyone nowadays has been like switching more to the Infinity Engine.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, that's the only engine that is like semi-complete.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah.
And it's also on Unreal Engine 4, which is easy to like, develop for if you want to.
There is this other engine called is it Sonic Dash Engine, if I remember correctly? But
Yes.
Infinity
Yeah,
Engine is the main one. Yeah.
That actually has a very large piece of potential. I've been watching that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll just jump into it. And like I said, we're just going to be talking about basically all the levels and bosses that are in this. So for those who are listening in, if you haven't played Omens, we're probably going to go into a bit of spoiler territory. So either play the fan game yourself, or just watch some gameplay on YouTube, and I'm sure there's multiple videos of gameplay out there if you want to get an understanding of what we've kind of experienced. So alright, firstly we go into like the game kind of does like a bit of a story cutscene, and then we go into like a kind of a tutorial level called Wellspring, which basically introduces us to like, you know, the controls, what you can do in it. Right. I don't really have too much to say about the tutorial. Apart from what I'm really liking, I'm not sure if anyone else experienced, but with the control settings, you can actually switch between the Infinity and like controls or generations. Which the previous demo, I don't know. I think it only had, you can only do Infinity.
No, the previous demo had
it was basic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The one I played like about a year ago.
It did?
Oh,
okay.
Oh, okay.
Look, I jumped right in.
It also had a controversial menu option. Let me just say that. If you know, you know. I'm not sure if I can say it.
It's been renamed.
Yeah.
It's been renamed.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... Yeah, I feel like that was
we will get into that.
Yeah.
We will get into that.
I mean, I will say I play with the Generations controls personally because I like having the boost button mapped to the X button, even though Frontiers, from what I heard, is going to have it mapped to the right trigger button.
Yeah.
So because in my mindset, boost is always going to be the X button no matter what.
Yeah.
So I like to keep it like that, but until Frontiers, I'll just have to get used to it, unless we can remap it, but that's for another day.
So.
I mean, it should be. Yeah.
So yeah, Wellspring, the tutorial. It's just basically show you the controls of the boost, explain some of the early mechanics, such as like, you know, the orbs to, you know, fill your boost bar up. You know, your standard platforming, light speed dashing, running on walls, quick stepping, and all that stuff. How did you guys? We'll go with Temsy. How did you feel about the tutorial stage?
Well, actually, I quite liked the tutorial stage. I don't know if it was just the opening cutscene, but the music choice as well. Everything felt like magical in a sense. Like you were starting out on this new adventure for the first time, when walking out of Tails' workshop, getting used to the area, and the level design actually felt cohesive, which compared to later on in the game, there's a kind of a difference in level design. I'll just say that. But yeah, for a tutorial stage, it felt solid. Quite liked it.
I guess it kind of does have its own branching pathways. Like not many. Like I think there's like a section where you can continue on one, like going straight, or you could take like a side route, and I think it does that once or twice, which for tutorial stage I'm actually impressed, because you don't see that often.
Yes.
Like what MC said, the music, I like the music. I thought that was a nice use for like just a tutorial, just like a calm, you know, relaxing.
Can I tag in?
Yeah, go ahead, Chumma.
One of the things I really liked was the fact that it was a homage to Spider-Man. The way everything was panning throughout.
Now that I look at it, yeah.
That was a callback to Spider-Man.
Like, speaking of the cutscenes, I think that the cutscenes are actually well directed. They're not well animated, I will say that right now, but like, the cinematography of like every shot is like very deliberate, but the animation just lets it down. But like, I can see like what they want to accomplish with this.
And the reason I can tell what they were going with is because the developer is a Ori fan. The Ori series, if you haven't heard of it, I highly recommend it. because shot for shot, you'll see why he's going the route.
Yes, and if you haven't, it's on Game Pass.
I cry every time I play it. I'm sorry.
Alright, so we go through the cutscene of like Sonic's now flying, then they reach on the next, I guess, island where it shows off Sonic. Because before, like, so Sonic has the ring, like, Chip's ring from the end of Sonic Unleashed, because this is technically where this is set. It's supposed to be set after Unleashed. So we discover that Sonic's Chip's ring has like this energy beam that he can use to, I guess, grapple. I guess that's the correct term.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows him that they're on this beach with all the Chow, and this is where the first stage, Chow Paradise, which is technically, this is basically the opening beach. I would say beach level.
Mm-hmm.
I actually quite like Chow Paradise as the first stage. It also introduces you to this new mechanic where Sonic can, basically grapple with Chip's ring, which I believe this has to be taking inspiration from Sonic's Boom energy whip.
Correct. Yes.
I believe that's the correct, which I
Yes.
kind of like.
It even has a similar sound.
Which I kind of like. I would like to see this return in a, like, not using Chip's ring, but like some kind of like whip mechanic to like traverse the levels, because I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, the actual stage itself, it looks, nice use of like scenery, platforming, basic, but it's really just kind of like, alright, this is the starting level, so we're not going to be like, it's going to be too complex. Chumba, what did you think?
I thought it was a beautiful start. Just the way everything flowed, and the alternate pathways, those specific pathways that say, hey, the ring dash is available. Hey, you can grapple here. Hey, you can do like certain skips here. It's a learning stage. It's a very good learning stage, and I like the fact that they did a small callback to Jungle Joyride at the end.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed that stage. I don't know if I'm remembering this wrong, but you could actually pet the Chow.
Yep.
Yeah, I really love that.
And they would follow you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they would follow.
Like, it's a neat addition. They didn't have to do that, but they went ahead and did that because it's almost like a giant Chow garden. This is why it's called Chow Paradise, and you're just running through there so you can get the Chow to follow you. It's just a really nice touch, and I'm glad they did that.
Yeah, so it kind of also has your basic, the iconic loop, like the giant loop-de-loops. You can run on water, so which you also can go underwater as well, which I'm not sure many people know, but you can do that. But yeah, just basic, like good basic opening first level.
Yeah, it was nothing amazing, but it was alright. I liked sorry if I'm interrupting. I just remembered I liked the mini storyline in it, in which Amy like calls you on this kind of headset thing. I don't know what he's using to communicate about their date, and it's really charming.
Yeah, that was yeah. No, I liked it, even though that's like the only time we actually hear Amy in this whole game. But I thought it was a nice little, I guess, like a little callback to like Sonic's promise to take Amy on a date. But no, that was a nice touch. It gave me a chuckle when I first heard it, when I was hearing about it.
Yeah, and if you can see in the opening cutscene, the same cutscene where it says "Don't forget to optimize," I think there's like a text message from Amy on Sonic's phone.
Yeah, there is.
So
wow.
yeah, it just all ties together.
Yeah.
I like how they planned that. Yeah,
I did not pay attention to that.
it's the little details.
All right, yeah. So we go through Child Paradise. Easy, like pretty much easy. You can get, I think you guarantee like an A rank. Oh, sorry, yep, go ahead.
You know what? I'll go on and say that this is the best level in the game. Like, this is the only level that actually works and functions and is actually fair on the player, because there's a bottom path, a middle path, and then there's also like you can skip chunks of the level if you wanted to. Like my only criticism with this level is that if you go underwater, you cannot. It's really hard to get back up if you like, for example, run out of boost or whatever. Then you basically gotta like triple jump until you get out of there, and that's kind of annoying. Like I wish they would put like more springs in there to get you back up.
That's fair.
But besides that, that level is actually really good. Also, you can pet the Choi, the Chow. Give me a game with that, please.
Alright, so basically a quick stage. You're basically guaranteed, if you go pretty much fast, you're guaranteed at least an A rank, which is fine. We progress on, we go to another cutscene where we're going to Eggman's, I guess, base, or some area which has been like all destroyed, and it's like in ruins. Then we get our first boss fight.
Yeah, it was kind of implied it was like one of his bases.
Cool. So this is the first boss of the game, the Dragoon E0. I do have one complaint about this, and I'm not sure. It might be just the engine. It's just, or this might be a nitpick for me. Like the boss is fine. It's just the camera, where you have to kindly control the camera and where you're going. This is just a nitpick for me because I like to have the camera like set where I'm supposed to be looking at, and like of course give me the option to have the free cam so I see where I'm going. But I don't know, because I always, when I'm in bosses, especially in an arena type, I like to always have my eye on the boss so I can see like the pattern and stuff. I don't know if this is me, but I kind of struggle a little bit because I'm like trying to keep the camera on him as well as trying to move and collect rings and read the patterns and stuff. How did everyone experience this boss?
Yeah, I agree with you. Go ahead.
Wanted to give you a little heads up. R3 fixes the camera, and if you hit R3 again, it will give you full control of it. So just to help you out, just in case you wanted to try it again.
Thanks, game. Thanks for telling me that.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know this. Why did you not explain in the tutorial? Like, this could have saved me so many deaths and like frustration.
Once I because I accidentally did it with a certain boss fight, which was irritating me. But we'll get to it.
God.
But yeah. And just to add a little something, Bolt was really nice to y'all. He got rid of the egg robos.
Oh, we will get into that because I remember this boss from the first build. But yeah, Temzi, since you streamed it and you were very frustrated, let's hear
yes, the boss. I remember I played this boss a year ago, I think, when I covered the game. It was a video, not a live stream, when I played the game last year. And when I started the boss, I thought it was nice, nothing too difficult. But it has the same problem that all of the bosses in this game has, like, little to no recovery time. It's like you hit the boss and you have almost no time before like it attacks back, or it will attack you, and while you're trying to get your rings, it will attack you again without giving you enough time to just gather your, I was about to swear, I just gather your rings together. I remember gather your rings together, pick yourself together, get ready for another attack. No, the boss will just continue spamming projectiles at you, and yeah, it gets annoying after a while.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
So for me, I played the boss in the previous demo and also this one, and I noticed that they actually tweaked a lot, because in the first demo they would spawn robots that would shoot at you, and then they also tweaked the recovery time for the attacks, and he does like a ground pound attack. They tweaked that too. So basically they tweaked a lot in this demo, but there's still the problem of like when you hit the boss, right? You're supposed to like airboost up to him and then hit him. And I feel like there's not enough time for you to like get your bearings to get him and hit him. Like if you're not like close to him, you will almost never get him. Like, you need to be ready to expect that he's gonna, like, get stunned so you can hit him. And I feel like that can be fixed by just like giving the player more time to react, especially during the final phase. That shit, whoa, that part is fast. Please edit that out. I'm so sorry. And that can actually frustrate you if you're just playing casual.
Oh no.
But again, they did get rid of the robots that fire at you, which I get. Like, I get why that is there, because then it becomes a matter of crowd control, which is fine. But there's so much chaos happening that a lot of people that I saw that played the game could not focus on all of that, because when you get hit, your rings basically scatter, and you cannot pick them back up again unless you run.
I will say, I know this is probably because this is just the Infinity Engine. I don't like how you take damage, how the rings scatter.
I don't either.
I think that's the Infinity
I can agree with
Engine
that.
thing,
And
that, but my thing is like, if that's an issue with the engine, build the boss around that limitation.
Or,
I can agree with that, because when you lose your rings, for some reason, when you try to get them, they kind of like move away from you. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I noticed that.
Yes, the rings have collision. I don't know why the rings have collision.
I'm over here trying to pick them up like SA2.
Yeah, I think everyone's got the same issues with this boss, like camera, just like, I mean, I'm glad that they did improve it from the previous demo, because I think everyone really struggled when the previous demo came for it, and everyone complained how difficult it was for a first boss.
One issue with
I'm sorry, I'm petty. I wanted everything the same. I wanted y'all to struggle. I wanted y'all to struggle.
No, I totally get difficulty in a Sonic game, right? Because every Sonic game since Colors has been piss easy. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta give new players a chance, right? And another issue with the camera that I have, right, is in this boss specifically, the camera will like lock on to show you like, oh, he's gonna attack or whatever, but then you can still control the camera, and then when you control the camera, the game will be like, oh, I need to lock on again, and so as a result, you lose control of the camera, which is kind of dumb.
Try the R3 and then let me know. Let me know what you.
Again, thanks, game, for not telling me that.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do that because the camera already. Yeah.
All right. But going back to the boss, like just quickly going back to the boss. Apart from the issues that we have with it, pretty much standard. I guess like the whole idea, like you just attacking, run away, dodge its attacks, and come back.
That song was intimidating. Like,
oh no, yeah.
I've never been so intimidated by a soundtrack.
That song is dynamic, by the way, and I wish more tracks in this game were dynamic. Like, the bass will start when the boss first attacks. Oh, every time. And I always love the dynamic music in video games, so like, thumbs up for that. That's good.
But just your basic first boss battle, nothing too hectic, or at least this tweak version of it from the previous one. Just run, dodge, hit the little big, I don't know, pulsing button on its chest, and just repeat the cycle, really, which is basic standard stuff you need for a first boss, which I'm happy with. So after that, when you finally beat the boss after several tries, we move on and we kind of discover. I try to remember what happens in the story, but I'm a bit fuzzy. But then we find the next base location and we go on, and it's Area 99, which is in under G.U.N's control, or it's one of their bases, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
guns based, as far as I remember.
So yeah, we have Area 99, which is like, you know, a base kind of location. This one I really like because there is, you know, branching pathways which take you to different parts of the stage and don't really connect back to the main path until, you know, near the end, which I really like.
And then even there's alternate pathways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, because you got like, you can take one path and it takes you up to like up the top path with like rails which you can just speed grind, and then you got like, yeah, branching pathways around like, you know, like, you know, construction stuff. Yeah, this one's actually surprisingly solid. Yeah, I mean, I do have one iffy thing. When you go into like the little there's like a pathway where you can take the left or the right with the dash panels, and if you take the right, it takes you to a I want to say it's supposed to be a wall running section.
Yeah, the wall run.
But I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if this is just me, it doesn't act like, I try to do quick step, but it doesn't lock you in the spot. You kind of like
Yeah, so
free running, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't know if
No, you're not.
I don't know if that's something that's they just forgot to trigger, because it's supposed to. It looks like it's supposed to be a section where you got to dodge these spikes.
Yeah, it's
but for
supposed to,
some
like,
reason,
No,
Yeah, that's
no,
a
I think that
problem
makes
with
sense.
Sonic
I think
that
Omens.
is total-
They haven't set up like splines for any sections that are supposed to be like quick steppable, wall runnable.
They
just
have no
didn't
quick
do
step
it. Yeah.
spines in there.
It's customized in a way. Because I get what you guys are saying, because I had that issue as well, because it felt weird to do the quick step in certain moments. It's not fixed like Generations Unleashed. It's not that 3 section. It's, you gotta customize it to
Yeah.
your leisure.
Yeah,
I'll say this real quick. Everything you do in the Infinity Engine is because of you. All the controls.
That sounds that sounds so ominous. What I found out is that if you hold the stick and then quick step, it will kind of fix it for you, but yeah, you shouldn't have to rely on directional movement while you're quick stepping. That's just bad.
Yeah.
And again, a simple quick step spine could fix this.
Wonder if that's capable.
because I remember like the previous demo, because I always kept taking the right path because my brain's like, oh, go right, you know, because I'm right-handed, I'm like, go right every time. I really struggle because I always keep hitting the spikes, like not intentionally, but it feels like I was trying to fight myself, try to make sure I don't hit like the edge of it and keep falling off. And I always like to do like a no death run as much as possible when I go through Sonic stages. So that one I really struggle, but probably because I had previous knowledge to that, I kind of made sure I do it right, and I didn't really struggle as much. But that's just a learning thing for me. But apart from that little issue area I have, the rest of the stage I thought was pretty solid, especially when you figure out there's like so many ways you explore and how it kind of intertwines with certain locations. What did you think, Temsy? Haven't heard from you.
Yeah, I thought it was a alright stage. I wouldn't say it was anything amazing, but I'd say it was a alright experience, really. Nothing too remarkable about it. They had a few pathways, and aside from that quick step spline missing problem, I wouldn't say there's anything remarkable about it.
I think
So
the
just-
stage ended too quickly.
I can potentially see where you're coming from with that. I think it's decently length for a second stage. I mean, would I like it to be a little bit longer? Yeah, but I'm not complaining too much about that. I guess we'll just continue on. We get to the end of the stage where we're in like these ruins, I guess is the correct term, where we see Eggman taking a Chaos Emerald. Because the main story is Sonic and Tails are trying to collect all the Chaos Emeralds from Eggman. We see him grab it, and then destruction kind of happens.
So we're jumping into the tornado stage.
So yeah, so this is the first tornado stage where you control as Tails in the tornado. This is called Wild Ridge. So again, at first, if you have the tutorial section on, it tells you the whole mechanics of the tutorial, where you can, you know, how you fly, how you can shoot missiles and bullets and stuff. I like this gameplay idea because it kind of takes a different spin on what we have done with Tails in the past, like in SA2, where you're kind of like walking in a mech, whereas this one you're actually flying. And I like, you know, you get 2 missiles, and if you use a mob, you gotta wait for them to like recharge and reload, and you can't really spam the machine gun because there's like a cooldown system, which I kind of like. The actual level design, it's okay. I feel like most of the time you're kind of stop and starting so many oftentimes because you got like wait to like for these, you know, doors or obstructive areas to like reopen for you. I think that's my main issue. It's very stop-starty. Like you're gonna be doing that lots of time, and that's why you probably take a long time completing this stage. And also there's also the gimmick of like if you can boost, basically control speed, but then it's hard for you to stop and get out of slowing down, and then obviously if you speed and hit to a thing, you lose more damage with anything. Again, I like it. The problem is, now again, maybe a nitpick for me, I think even if you're going at a slow speed, you still take a bit too much damage from like knocking into a wall or something. Like of course, if you're speeding through and you hit to a wall, you take lots of damage. That's fine because that's like, okay, that was your fault because you weren't controlling your speed. But when it's like a simple tap on, like, you know, the construction stuff,
right,
like a rock, something, you still lose like a quarter or to a third of your health, which I feel like that something feels like I'm being punished for a tiny mishap. But I don't know, what do you think, guys, of this first mech tornado?
Okay. The concept is good. Like, I'm glad that you can control the tornado. That's fine. But the way that it controls is bad, because if you so much as like stop your toe, you lose a crap ton of health, and once you get hit, sometimes you cannot recover from like that animation that you do when you get hit, which leads to you getting hit again, and then you die. I don't mind the stopping and going nature of it, because that's just platforming in Star Fox pretty much, kind of. I don't mind that, but it's the way that it controls. Like it controls like a truck, right? And also there's enemies that walk onto you, and when they walk onto you and they fire their laser, they will like home in on you no matter where you go, and you cannot recover from that. Like the only way I can defeat them is to like stand from a distance and then just spam whatever, which is kind of stupid because all you need to do to fix that is to like just give the player more time to react, or like not make it as spammy when they spam their lasers. And one other issue I have with the level is that sometimes you have no idea where to go. Like there are arrows, by the way. There are arrows on the ceiling and the walls and everything, but sometimes you will get stuck because it's not purely signposted. And I could see Temzi struggling with this on his stream as well.
Yeah.
I can agree with the whole, you know, like some of the gun enemies with the laser. It kind of like even if you try to move away, it kind of still tracks you, which I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to do that. That seems a little bit unfair. And then like, yeah, what you're saying about like if you're trying to avoid, you can hit them from the distance. To me, that kind of feels like I'm like cheating what I'm supposed to do. Like, I feel like I'm just exploiting something, and it doesn't feel fun. And the whole, getting a bit lost, I can see that. I personally didn't get lost in this stage particular, probably because, I think I kind of have a fair idea. But I can see where some people may get lost, even with all the arrows, because it is a fairly big stage, like flying around. It is huge.
Also, if you get hit a certain way, you can kind of clip out of bounds and go to this section of the stage that hasn't opened up yet, and that's designed for.
Of course, you would find that, knowing you model.
No, but that's the thing. You can get this. You can get this by not even speedrunning. Like, if you get hit, like there's a wall. Like, okay, you know what? You know the wall with the crates, right? The metal crates behind it. Like, if you get hit there, you will clip out of bounds and go through it, essentially, and you skip like a huge chunk of the level because you need to activate that section with the switch that you can find. And Tens, you could not find the switch either.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I love how bro's just revealing everywhere I failed at the game.
No, I'm so sorry because like,
it's cool, I know.
You're one of the only people that I've seen play the game, right? That's like, you don't do any like pro MOG strats or whatever, you're just a normal guy just playing the game, you know? Well, when I'm going, I'm just like, the geometry's off like 1 centimeter, this is bad.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Here we go. Go on.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Granted, getting used to the controls, getting used to the laser. Trust me, I understand. For some reason, the quick step actually worked for me. Like, yes, it damaged me, but I at least got out of the way enough to be like lasers or to kill it. I think the most interesting part was when we were finished with these switches was the wind.
Yeah.
The wind and the turbulence.
Oh no.
So again, just to give you a little something, they were actually very nice to you again. They dumbed down that wind a lot.
Yeah, I remember because in the first demo, you when that hit, you had
something
no control.
Happened.
You had no control.
Something happened.
I know what they did. They changed the velocity and then the strength of it so that when you get hit, you can still control the plane somewhat. Kind of. But not too much.
Right.
Yeah, I remember the previous demo. I think again everyone really struggled, especially when the wind came in and that. Like, cool gimmick for the stage. I like that. Makes it like a little bit more challenging, which I like. But yeah, I think I did notice that it was toned down, which I'm glad because I did not struggle. I don't think I even died during the whole windy section, where in the previous one it took me like nearly 20 minutes just to complete that bloody section because of the bloody wind. But I think this stage I actually don't mind. I thought it was pretty decent again. Like at least in this one, like the previous demo, I think this was like one of the worst ones that they had to offer. But since they toned it down, make it a little bit nicer, I think this is like one of the really decent stages. Well, for me personally, I'm not sure how everyone would, if they would agree or somewhat disagree with that statement.
Honestly, I think that with a few minor adjustments, it could be fun. But right now, it's just a chore to play it. But it's not as bad as the next one that's coming up, because that one's actually bad.
And with that, we're just gonna swing right into that. So this is kind of like called Escaping from Now. So this is basically the first section is like just getting out. It's not really a chase sequence. It's just like moving to a void, and then it ends with a boss fight as in the tornado. Because I think this is where I really noticed. Because didn't this one have the wind velocity in this section as well, or am I?
No, it did.
It did,
Did
but
it?
not
It
as
did.
much.
Okay, I think this is where I noticed it wasn't as powerful from the previous demo, because this one I kind of went through it pretty cruisy. I mean, of course, I was going slow because I just wanted to be careful because I knew this was a pain. But like the whole flying through and dodging this, like the whole snake boss kind of thing. This one, again this one I found okay, given like the tanky how the tornado feels. Going through these small corridor paths and trying to avoid everything. And then we get to the actual boss, in this big open field in the tornado where you go like kind of like shoot at its mouth because it has a Chaos Emerald in it. This boss isn't, again, I found this one alright. This one wasn't too bad. Like this one, it kind of gave you chance to like shoot, dodge, require that you actually use the quick steps, because I think this boss really makes sure that you actually utilize the quick step for the tornado. I do feel like when it gets to a section where it kind of shoot these 3 missiles at you, if that's I'm not sure if it's missiles, but projectiles, I should say.
Yeah.
I feel like the hitbox on them a little bit too big, because there's been a few times where I dodged it, like all 3 of them, but I still feel like I'm getting clipped, even though it looks like I had some gap. I'm not sure that's just me thinking
No.
the hitbox on them are too big, or if everyone felt the same.
Oh no, that actually did
Actually-
happen to me.
Okay.
The times that I got hit were when he was coming in from the ground.
Yes, that too.
It was kind of unpredictable. Like he was so big that I couldn't do a quick step. That's my issue.
Also,
Okay.
you know what my issue is with this boss? Also, besides the hitboxes from the projectiles, when he goes on the ground, there's no way to track him or where he will reappear, and because the camera doesn't help you either. The camera's just like, okay, I'm gonna just sit here and wait, and only when he comes up does the camera actually catch up with him. And I feel like you should at least like have like an indicator or a sound or something to like tell you where it's gonna come up again. Like also
I
this
will
game has no 2D audio also. That could help too. Like it's small stuff like that makes this boss kind of frustrating.
I don't know, because I think there is visual cues, like where he's gonna appear up, because you can see, I don't know, maybe because I like to look where my surroundings, and maybe, okay, I think I will admit it's not that obvious, but there is like a visual cue where you can see like the sand or like dirt crumbling, which is
Okay.
where he's gonna appear. There is visual, but it is probably because you're already kind of in the sandstorm, it kind of blends in too
But-
well.
Cool, but you see
I
how
see a
you
glow.
you see how small that is though, because like if you're
Yeah.
like me and you're playing this on like a 34-inch monitor, the area is so huge, right? That if you're not close to where he's gonna pop up, you wouldn't know.
Yep.
And I watched a couple of friends of mine play this live, and they basically said, "How am I supposed to react to this? Because I cannot see this man." And they're right, because you wouldn't think to focus on, the ground.
I think I will agree that it probably does require a few more visual or at least audio cues just to give you time and like spatial awareness of where he's gonna appear. And this boss is pretty massive compared to your size in the tornado. I mean, this one's pretty. I'm not sure there's more to it because I only got to like where it jumps around twice and it shoots the projectiles and repeat. I only got happened that to like maybe 2 rounds of it before I actually defeated the boss. I'm not sure there's more to it, or that's
Yeah.
just the whole boss.
That's the whole thing. Because once again,
Okay.
That's the whole
he was
point.
nice. Because back then, it took a while to beat this boss. Now the hitbox and the damage ratio, he
Ooh,
put that on 100.
Yeah, also one thing, if you use the minigun, that like does no damage. You have to use the
It
rockets.
tickles it.
And Yeah, they should adjust the damage for that too, because like they do like nothing.
Are you shooting in the right area? Because I thought
Yes.
that would fine.
Yes, like you have to like with the miniguns, you have to like aim it in the middle of his mouth. That's the only way it works.
Okay, yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, it felt like you had to be very accurate. Like you had to like
even
hit
then,
it directly.
And even then, you have to like up close and personal to like get him, because at range it does not register.
Anything you want to add, Temsy, or are you too traumatized from your experience?
Yeah, think I might have to sit this one out.
Okay.
Nah, that man struggled on this one for like, I think it was like 15 minutes.
Oh wow, really? Shit.
Yeah.
No, because legit, I was like, if I can't react to this, what chance does he have? Oh god, what is happening?
The effect that Sonic Omens has on a person.
Like, again, I was watching the stream, right? And I was taking notes of like Temsy's raging, just to make sure I wasn't crazy.
I think the end of the story is, with this boss fight, probably a bit more. It could use more time to make it, I guess, not easier, probably just a bit better for the player to react and try to do like a flawless no run hit, basically. At least that's what I think. Because like I think the boss is alright. It's just like I think it is a bit punishing when it probably shouldn't be too punishing, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Especially
Yeah.
if it's the first boss for the Tails section.
Yeah. Which quickly, I will say, I like how you can tackle a boss in a tornado, because we haven't really had that.
I was about
think
to say. Yep. We haven't had full 100% control ever. Other than those auto-scrolling sections in the adventure.
And Unleashed, yeah. But Unleashed was
That
like
was-
very limited control, yeah. Oh, you're talking about full control, yeah. We
Yeah.
did not have any full control, yeah.
We never did until now.
So I think this is like I think this is like a cool idea. Like this is something kind of like different than what we've in like official games. Like it's kind of like, all right, let's take what you could do in a normal stage, but let's give you more control and give you like an actual boss. Apart from the boss, the fights in SA2 with Eggman and Tails, because that kind of like pretty what you can
Hello.
do with that, yeah, but this is like more on a grander scale, which I would like to see, maybe one day.
Shout out to StarFox64. You saved me.
Okay, we're gonna be moving on from that one. Then we got to the next Sonic stage, and this is White Jungle. Basically, I'm gonna assume it's just a strip pop rip from SA2 White Jungle, but with some minor
Adjustments,
tweaks to level design for the Infinity Engine. This one, probably because I replayed this one so many times, just casually, because I actually like this stage, because I think I'm, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at the level.
yeah. If you say so.
No, it actually feels like a really fun time to like actually boost around in this stage. Probably because I also like how it's basically pouring down with rain. It's at night time. You got like thunderstorms happening, which I
Fire.
really like aesthetically for like in a level.
The Tiki Fire.
Yes, I just like this, even though it's not an original stage, because this is like the only unoriginal stage. Even the music, it's just basically Force's remix of, White Jungle, which I will say best remix of that zone. Don't hate me. But yeah, no, this one's pretty fun. Like I said, just to boost around, because it gives you a lot of time to like boost, especially when you're doing like loop-de-loops and like on vines, grinding on vines and stuff. Platforming, we've already seen it from Shadow's run in SA2 of White Jungle. Pretty much the same. Again, just with some tweaks. Anyone want to add a comment to White Jungle? Or do you kind of like agree with...
Once you get to the next section, I love skydiving mechanic. I think this is the highlight of the Infinity Engine for me. The skydiving, up tier. Every single time.
Is it because of like how the camera is set up and you kind of just like... Yeah.
The way I think it was one of those pathways where you can either go up or there's a red ring to the right. But either way, it goes into the next section and then it just pans the camera down and you skydive at range.
Agreed.
Perfect.
Like, when that works, that is so good. Except when the spines bug out and you just die.
Yeah, I can see how, like, I think basically if you just like boosting and suddenly you kind of don't have that much control, especially when you're trying to, because of how White Jungle's level design is, like when you're running, sometimes you be boosting and sometimes you have no control where you're controlling. Sometimes you can hit the top and just fly off.
Yep, happened to me.
Which I think it happened to me in the previous demo when this first was revealed. That was my main issue, was like you don't really have much control boosting, but I don't know if maybe it's because I've adjusted myself or they tweaked it a little bit. I wouldn't know. But I can see that that's probably like the main issue potentially with this stage.
This level has what I like to call forces-itis, where you can just jump and skip the roofs and everything, and that's kind of my issue with it, because in some sections they will like take control away from you. But if you're boosting already, well, good luck. You will die because you are so stuck in like the boosting state, and you can fly over everything as a result.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that is not a level design issue, because the level design is solid. I feel like that's an engine issue.
No, I agree. I think that's probably more of an Infinity Engine issue with the boosting of how it's made. And plus, originally White Jungle was made with SA2 in mind, so the fact that we can actually boost, like, of course, like they tweaked a few things to make it work, but given the fact that we can actually boost in an SA2 where boosting wasn't even a thing back then, it surprisingly works majority of the time. Especially, and also it's also got those secret little, like with Trumper said, that there's like small branching pathways which you take, which I really like. That's kind of like, because it feels like you're discovering something that wasn't there in the original, and most of the time you do get rewarded with like red rings, or yeah, like even electric shield or something that just rewards you for, like, you know, exploring, kind of, which I really like to see more often. But yeah, I would say I probably will say that this is probably my favorite stage in Omens, and it's not even the original stage. So I guess that's pretty much. This is probably, I don't know. What does everyone think of White Jungle? Top tier or mid tier or?
It's good.